Keep it moving in the lightweight division. Ottman Azaitar coming in at plus 110 against Francisco Prado, sitting at minus 110, over under 1.5 rounds, plus 125 for the over, minus 125 for the under. 33 years of age for Azaitar, 21 years old for Francisco Prado. So 12 years in age difference. Both men 4-1 in their last 5, and both men coming off of their first loss. One of them was a knockout loss for Azaitar, and Prado lost by decision to Jamie Mullarkey in his debut. They're expecting violence in this one. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Yeah, this is better. This is better, okay? This fight.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I mean, Ottman and Azaitar looked really sharp in his first few fights in the UFC, obviously getting first-round knockouts. He hits extremely, extremely hard. And then he loses to Matt Frevola, kind of got in a firefight, and Frevola just landed that shot clean, put him out cold. But, man, that loss doesn't really age as bad, considering Frevola just went out there and knocked out Drew Dober, a dude with over 20 UFC fights and had never been finished before. And he knocked him out with the same, basically same shot. So I think people are too low on Azaitar here. I don't think they're giving him enough credit. I think they see Francisco Prado, another power puncher. We saw him, against Jamie Mullarkey, obviously got taken down and kind of controlled the whole fight. But we've seen in the past, man, Prado has some power. He's got some pop. He's got good ground game. But you can't really underestimate the power of Azaitar either, just because he took one loss. So I do think this fight is going to be a lot closer than people think. I think people are, like a little bit low on Azaitar here. I think this is a perfect buy low spot. If you are expecting violence, I think the under 1.5 could hit. These guys are going to come out in a firefight. And if Prado takes it to the ground, I think he's got a chance. He could find a submission too. So I don't know if I'm going to take a money line on each side, but I probably will be leaning that under.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I mean, it should be. Both guys like to throw caution to the wind, and Azaitar just coming off his KO loss. I mean, he's 33 years old. Just his first professional loss. Like, I kind of look at that like he's maybe he's got more to prove it in this spot against a younger guy, or maybe they're just feeding him to the wolves. But Prado, just coming off of his 21st birthday, and I believe he's training down in Miami. I don't like that. I don't like that. Considering his birthday is June 16th, so it's just a few weeks ago. And he's coming in against a dangerous opponent here, 21 years old. I mean, I got to say, the Samurai Fight House, alums, they just don't really do that well in the UFC. I don't know what it is, but the level of competition they're taking there is just not great. He is 11-1. And I usually like the younger guy, but I got to say Azaitar is going to be my pick here. Even though he's a slight dog, I think it's worth a shot on him. And if it does turn into a firefight type like that, because that's kind of how Prado has fought in the past, but then in his debut, he was a little bit more calculated and he looked a little gun shy. Azaitar, just coming off his first loss, maybe he goes out there and he's a little gun shy. But if it does turn into a firefight, I think Azaitar's got some big power in his hands. Prado maybe a little bit more athletic, a little bit quicker at this point in his career, but if he gets caught, Azaitar could put him out. So for the sake of the show, I'll take Azaitar.
Yeah, and I keep going back to and looking at Prado's record. Like, he's gotten away with getting in these firefights and knocking dudes out and taking them down and submitting them because he's fighting dudes like 2 years ago. Only 2 years ago, he's fighting dudes making their MMA debut. So he's not out there fighting the best in the world and knocking out all these, phenomenal fighters by any means. I'd argue he's yet to knock anybody out who has a future in MMA. So, there's just too many unknowns for him too. Still, obviously he's got a lot of knockouts and submissions on his record, but against who? So this will be a good test for him. I think it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, we'll see where his career goes after this one. Maybe a little bit of a test for him, but not an easy fight, especially coming off of Mullarkey in your debut.